All right, we're live. Yeah, exciting week as always. I was calling before this episode with Florian to discuss some ideas we have, but we said, "Holy shit, how much can happen in a week time, right, Florian?"
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. And you said hold your horses before you get all your excitement into this
yeah,
phone call. Let's
yeah,
discuss
yeah.
it in the podcast. So
It's like with Florian, you throw in a quarter, and then there's just one flow of excitement coming out. But we want to keep that for this podcast. Kees could unfortunately not join, so yeah, hopefully he's there next week. He's probably too frustrated about FST still not being allowed in Europe, right, Florian? So can you imagine being so top on that news and knowing what kind of hurdles there are and how excited you become after visiting the US and experiencing FST firsthand?
it's time for Case to reallocate either to the US or to Australia
Yeah, well,
or
or
Mexico or Puerto Rico. There are enough countries. Canada.
well, probably in more Southern American countries, you can find a beautiful wife, right? That's an idea for him as well. So
There you go. To vliegen in één klap, hè? To
two flies in one hit.
mosquitoes. Yeah.
So yeah, where to start, Florian? I think you made a couple of notes, but what news made you most excited this week?
Yeah. Well, last week we discussed Masterplan 4, and at that time the zeitgeist was like, yeah, it's very vague, and there are no milestones, and what's going to be the it's written by AI. It's very corporate. This is
Yeah,
not something coming from Elon.
which
All
was
these
which was fair critique, right? So
Yes, it was because we were also on that camp. We were like, okay, but what's going to happen next? But we also tipped on, okay, well, probably it's vague because the compensation plan of Elon hasn't been come out yet. And we said would probably come out within a few weeks, a month, and there we go. Within a week, the compensation plan of Elon came out. So
yeah, because
that's one of
the shareholder call, the share annual shareholder meeting is in November. Correct me if I'm wrong.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah, so to shed some context, last week, and it is great. So it's funny how fast everything moves at Tesla within weeks of time. But last week we talked about the compensation plan being announced, and now it's actually there. What were your first thoughts with this compensation plan?
yeah. Well, it's ambitious. Um, it's very it's with trenches, so it resembles a little bit about the first conversation package where there were also trenches. It's not time stamped, those trenches, but it's like milestone stamped. So there are operational milestones, but there are also financial milestones to be met. And it shows that Tesla can 10x within this time frame that we don't know yet, but
Yeah,
it definitely can
let's
10x
say three
in
to
those.
10 years.
Yeah, nobody knows, but it at least if those milestones are met, then Tesla is going to go 10x, and one of those milestones is to get to 1 million robo-taxis,
Yeah,
or to 20 million cumulative Teslas
car sold.
produced. Yeah, and I believe also 1 million bots, um, and there are two or three more of those operational milestones.
Yeah,
And yeah, there's also an appendix in that compensation plan, actually explaining how the compensation plan, the first compensation plan, was actually built, and how Elon executed on that compensation plan. And they showed that Elon got that compensation plan within a shorter time frame than it was expected. and it also showed how it related to similar companies back then. So they made an analysis of other $50 billion net worth capital companies at that moment, and they made an analysis of if they would have had the same kind of compensation plan, how would have those other companies been able to
Yeah.
get to the same. So there were like 12 tranches back then, and only a company like Nvidia would have got to the third tranche. So the CEO of Nvidia, and they compared about 100 companies, and Nvidia was the only one who got to three. Elon got to 12, and there were only 8 other CEOs that would have gotten to one. So
Yeah.
with this appendix, they want to show that this compensation plan is out of this world. It's very ambitious, but with a CEO like Elon, it is also a high probability that we will actually get to these milestones.
Yeah.
So I think the second most important part of the compensation plan is that Elon got what he wanted, and that's voting control of 25%.
When he hits his milestones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So both sides of the table are happy now. So the shareholders, and also the shareholders, they know that Elon cannot leave the company or cannot sell his shares within 10 years. So this is a big plus for shareholders.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me very much on the time of the previous conversation plan, because at that time I was starting my journey into becoming compounding my knowledge on Tesla. I've been following the company very closely since 2013, and right before the announcements of the first compensation plan, there was a more or less consensus among sort of retail investors that were very active in the Tesla community at the point that Tesla could grow to those kind of numbers. But at that point, it felt very speculative, because at that point you see a company, and the consensus among retail investors was like, yeah, this company can 10x in the next let's say 1 to 5 years. It's either a moment of when and not if. And then suddenly that compensation package came out, which was very in line with a couple of retail investors back in the day. So Gali was a big one. Rob Mauer was very active. So we all got very excited about this compensation plan, because it's perfectly aligned with the people that were just paying attention. And I think this is same situation right now. The numbers are obviously bonkers if you sort of contemplate on them. 400 uh, billion in EBITDA as a sort of milestone where the company needs to grow towards. That's a crazy number. That's like almost half a trillion that the company then needs to print in money.
Yeah.
But everybody who has been running Cybercap slash Robo-taxi slash FSD slash Optimus numbers comes in those kind of ballparks. And those are actually very smart people that are running those numbers. And also, we talked with CERN, we talked with Kenny, and they both made models, and those guys are actually quite conservative with the models that they run. And if you look at the milestones, they're aggressive, because to get to 400 billion in EBITDA, everything needs to work flawlessly. But then the valuation of the company is just based on a 20x valuation, so 8.5 trillion in market cap. But that could easily be 15 to 20 billion in or trillion in market cap if you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
T with a T.
with a T.
Yeah.
So it's if they just have like a 30x price earnings ratio at that point. And yeah, we will come to that later, but we're so used to having a sort of static vision on the future and the static mind on what can come, right? But we, to be honest, we've seen that whole blueprint of Tesla, all the products that they have presented in Masterplan Part 4. So this whole picture with this nice ecosystem that we showed last week. But we don't know anything about other products that can be launched, right? So example, that news of SpaceX buying sort of this connectivity company
Yep.
could also easy translate to Optimus, for example, having
Yes.
connectivity possibilities.
Yes. That's something I wrote down as well. But it's so funny that you actually bring up Gali, because he made this amazing tweet. I don't know if you have read it, but I will present it here.
Yeah.
It's
While you put it on screen, I will go to what caught my eye in this compensation plan.
yeah,
Uh, so first of all, it's aggressive. Second of all, it's very much in favor for shareholders because there's Elon doesn't get paid anything unless he delivers on the results. But what I also really liked about this compensation plan, and that's also very much in line with the previous compensation plan. Now we have Master Plan Part 4 in place, which is a bit more aspirational. But these are concrete milestones that everybody in the company is actually working towards. So it's also, I always see that, um, from if I look at Tesla, sort of the first circle of people that are getting things done is Elon. And let's say Elon has 50 to 100 sort of hardcore engineers around him, with France, with Lars Moravi. So there's a sort of inner group of, let's say, 50 to 250 people there. Then you've got a whole range of employees that are working on day-to-day jobs, right? So to get the cars in the right place, etc. Finance people, those are around 50,000 ish people. No, let me fact check myself. I think Tesla is right now in the ballpark of almost 100,000 employees worldwide. Tesla number of Tesla employees. And Tesla is very famous for granting their employees also shares and share options, right? So the amount of people that can become a millionaire just by working for Tesla is staggering.
yeah,
And right now, Tesla has 125,000 full-time employees, um, and it's a small decrease from 23. So let's say between 125 and 150,000. Those people are also now presented where the company can grow towards with sort of great execution. And so we have Elon, then we have a core team of the people of, let's say, needle movers in the company. Then you have 125,000 employees, and then you have like millions of retail shareholders and institutional shareholders that are also very much thinking about and helping Tesla wherever possible. So this is an ecosystem of like almost millions of people that are now rooting towards that future and are trying to do little things to make that happen.
yeah. I mean, that's the amazing part of being a public company, that you have a stock price and you get the stock options, and you're building the new future of sustainable abundance. You can attract everybody into that company. Next to what we discussed last week, that you want to work with Elon and you want to work on that mission, and you want to work with the best engineer in the world, who is able to collect all this top talent together. So it's the Arne Slot plus, as we discussed last week. Yeah. So what Gali said is that it's actually funny that analyzing Tesla's financial doesn't matter right now anymore. It's all about Cybercap and Optimus. But those two products uh, they don't exist yet on a financial statement.
Yeah.
So
Which was the same with Model 3 back in the days. Was supposed to be the needle mover for Tesla in 2000,
true,
in that
true.
first compensation package.
Yeah, there wasn't even a factory yet. There was only a tent.
Yeah, it was very problematic time
Yeah,
at that moment.
yeah. And
And,
now
and
they have a big war chest of $37 billion. They have these three factories spinning. They have all the supply chains working. I mean, this is the moment for them to really accelerate and create all these beautiful products. I think they also shared a tweet which was amazing that they said the future is golden, and they showed three gold, the Robovan in the golden variant, the Cybercap in gold, and the version 3 Optimus in gold.
the golden age is coming again.
Yeah, that's the sustainable abundance. That's
Yeah.
what we are all talking about. And that's also, you just mentioned it, but that was my second point. What happened this week was the acquisition of SpaceX, of this company. What's his name again? EchoStar. And they just spent 17 billion, and I think 8.5 is in stock of SpaceX. So if you make that calculation, you could calculate that the valuation at this moment of SpaceX is around 400 billion.
Yeah.
So if you look at the number of shares that Elon has in Tesla and in SpaceX, um, his net worth in SpaceX is bigger than his net worth in Tesla at this moment.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, and that's also one of the reasons that the compensation package needs to be aggressive, because
Yep.
Tesla wants to be in a position where the products are being rolled out
Within
in
Tesla.
within Tesla, and there are right now plenty of opportunities with SpaceX and XAI yeah to sort of have let's say if you're right now wants to launch a mobile device, for example, that could be SpaceX, that could be XAI, right?
Yep.
So and you want to be sure that Tesla's ecosystem is getting strengthened over time as
Yeah.
well.
So this is a perfect example of this acquisition where SpaceX is buying EchoStar. With that acquisition, they have technology in house to actually build their own. Well, they have the bandwidth right now. So EchoStar has the bandwidth, which is like 5 times bigger than the current bandwidth of current mobile operators. So they could become their own mobile operator, and they could build their own phone, and they could completely disrupt the whole phone industry
Mm.
with their satellites. So um, you could connect the phone, but you could also connect Optimus, as you told 5 minutes ago as well. So then the Optimus is connected, and the Optimus is connected to everything, and that's
Yeah, there will
interesting
be a
because
sort of
in
hive mind of Optimus bots working.
yeah.
That's
So where are the revenues going to be? You know, is it going to be and which part of the revenues is going to be within SpaceX or or within Tesla? So that's going to be a very interesting discussion. So I'm completely with you that
Yeah, but that pie is so big that they're baking, let's say, so they can work with license fees and strengthen each other. So that's the great thing about Elon's company also being in an ecosystem with other companies that can be very supportive for each other, right? So last couple of episodes we already talked about the integration of XAI and Tesla, which
yeah,
is, in our point of view, no brainer that XAI will leverage the real world data of Tesla to come with video games, to create movies, to create compelling image enhancers and all that. But also the other way around, right? So we want the best AI to be in the Tesla cars and be able to talk to our Tesla and get a whole lot of work done in just by having conversations with Grok. And it's going to be awesome. I've been thinking about this for a long time. Like, you just jump in your car and Grok starts talking to you and you say, did have you checked your groceries? Do you need groceries? Do you want me to order your groceries? Can you approve this? So at a certain point, you're just sitting on a chair and sort of approving all sorts of suggestions that your personalized AI is going to bring, right? So I have this vision of, as I told you last couple
It's
of,
like it's going to be like telepathy.
yeah, but I have this vision of this. I will share you this story. It's a funny story. But I right now have these vacuum cleaner robots in my house, right? And I'm very happy
Mhm.
with them. And this is also a very telling thing that Tesla is not entering these kind of sort of single task household devices, while
Yep.
they can easily launch a vacuum cleaner robot that is superior to whatever is in the market right now, right? So
Mhm.
with their batteries, with their AI vision, and with just HVAC systems that they already have in their cars. So this is something very doable for Tesla, but they don't execute on that because they want a top tier robot that can solve many problems in your household. But I have this vision, like in the near future, having five or a small legion of Optimi next to me, and in your Tesla car, you can say if you have a Model S Plaid, right? You can say chill, sport, or Plaid mode, and that you actually can put your Optimus bot also in Plaid mode. But then it's you can have your robot in chill mode or super. Let's say instead of you can have it reactive, just sitting on the couch waiting for orders, or you can have it on Plaid mode and then it's very proactive. So then the job is done and they suggest you all sorts of stuff that they can do for you. So do you want me to mow your lawn? Do you want me? It's like a worker that is never getting tired,
Yep.
coming up with all sorts of tasks of the hive mind. And at a certain point, all the tasks in the house are already done twice a day, right? So you have twice your house cleaned, twice your shirts being folded, twice everything. So you cannot come up with anything that can be done. But Optimus has a catalog of millions and millions of things that he can do. So I envision that point that at a certain point your bot comes to you and said, "Do you want me to build a shed for your kids?" And it's just start collecting wood and building things out of nothing. But then when you have like 5 or 10 Optimus bots that are all on super active, you get crazy because of the amount of work that they want to do for you. So at a certain point, your own approval ratings, level of approval threshold, is getting diminished. You become tired of approve all the work that the Optimus bot can do for you. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's going to be your AI agent doing those kind of things.
yeah. So yeah, and then yeah. Well, let's see what then happens. But then, really, like age of abundance, right? Do you want me to clean the street for your neighbors? Do you want me to help your neighbors carrying
Yeah.
carrying the laundries? And
I just had this also a tweet which came by a new company. They build like an AI which already integrates your thinking. So every time you have an idea when you're under the shower or whatever, it actually automatically brings it into your notebook. So the next step is it automatically brings it to Optimi,
yeah,
your fleet of Optimi to actually execute upon that task.
execute upon that. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope
So
then.
what I wanted to share with you before you started your
Yeah.
explanation is actually this what Phil shared. Let me see how I can bring this up. As always, I'm not able to get it
Yeah.
in here.
Also, sounds
It's
like
also
your
so
mouse
big.
is not fully supported by a mouse pad. It's like
No,
scratching wood.
screeching book. Well, I will just explain it. What Phil Beisel actually said that Optimus is a connected device. It's connected via Wi-Fi, but also it will be connected to Starlink's direct-to-cell system, and yeah, it will be. Uh, Tesla will like work with SpaceX to provide a more native Starlink transceiver built in
Mhm.
at some point. So here you go. Tesla and SpaceX will work together, and both products, the direct to sell from SpaceX and the product from Tesla, they will work together on bringing a service to us, which you just explained. But that's only going to be able to work if these two products are actually realized.
Yeah.
And while realizing those products, there will be lots of money being made. So um, with Tesla or with SpaceX actually buying this company, this bandwidth company, they can expand the service, which will bring in billions and billions of revenue to their company, which will bring their valuation from what is 400 billion right now to probably 2 trillion also in 2030, only because of this product. So this only shows you what kind of markets there is actually we are getting into.
Yeah.
So and this is not even the service of actually getting the Optimi working and doing all these kind of services. This is just bringing the bandwidth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. And yeah, these kind of things are sort of in development already for years, right? So it's not like now it suddenly happens, because you don't hear so much about SpaceX because it's a private company. So
Yeah.
you hear a little bit less than Tesla. But what SpaceX is executing is, yeah, it's all also beyond comprehension, right? So you have Starship, you have the whole Starlink constellation. Those inventions and that execution on itself is already mind-boggling. Let alone that they will cooperate together, because also this Starship is going to be a huge accelerator for Starlink, because they can just deploy next level, next gen satellites way faster. So the cost of launching satellites, the cost of manufacturing satellites, the cost of producing those kind of dishes are becoming cheaper and cheaper. Thus the market share of Starlink is going to increase like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes,
what
that's also a big announcement. Actually, getting us to Masterplan Part 4. So this acquisition of SpaceX
yeah.
buying EchoStar.
Yeah, what so
And
if you reverse engineer, let's say 400 billion in annual EBITDA that Elon Musk needs to accomplish, right? That number sounds like that sounds like an absolute ridiculous number where you need to grow your company towards to. Um, but with these kind of accelerators, not only accelerators within Tesla, but also accelerators outside of Tesla with XAI and SpaceX, those numbers are becoming more and more in the realm of possibilities, because Tesla will profit from the ecosystems that are being built outside of Tesla with XAI and with SpaceX. And that is something. So, for example, all the expertise of manufacturing satellites and manufacturing Starlink dishes for SpaceX first comes from Tesla. They have manufacturing expertise, right? And they levered that manufacturing expertise for SpaceX. But now it's a sort of the other way around, because SpaceX has expertise in building satellites and building Starlink dishes. They can now translate that to a sort of consumer goods product like Optimus Bot. And what we see right now, and this is also a very underestimated thing, is Tesla always has been leveraging their IP and their knowledge about manufacturing with other manufacturers, right? So Panasonic has already been working with Tesla for years, since the early days with battery development. But now they're also leveraging their manufacturing knowledge and product expertise. For example, with the chips that they have been creating with Dojo, now bringing it all together for the AI6 chip. they leverage that with Samsung. All of a sudden, Tesla becoming competitive with the Nvidia chips and not becoming reliant anymore on everything that Nvidia has to offer. So there you can see like expertise going first from Tesla to SpaceX. Now from SpaceX coming back to Tesla. From Tesla being now expanded to Samsung and other manufacturers that are helping Tesla creating chips. And that ties into the vision that Elon has. Like in the beginning, he didn't want to be a vertical integrated company. He just wanted to create IP and then outsource most of that work. But that was simply not possible because the level of expertise of manufacturing was simply not there in the world. So they needed to do all by themselves. But Elon and of course a lot of companies want to become part of this, let's say 400 billion EBITDA profitable company by just collaborating with them. So that is becoming a vortex on themselves. Like Samsung see they're losing out on the AI war, but they have a lot of expertise on manufacturing chips. So they join forces and make that happen. And normally you see sort of people collaborating out of weakness. So two companies that are not profitable, for example. But Tesla always comes from a position of strength and expertise.
Oh, definitely. And I think if Tesla didn't have a war chest of 37 billion on cash on their balance sheet, this whole Samsung deal wouldn't have been made.
Yeah. So
It's
and
next to the all the possibilities that you just explained, but there is also a financial strength already with
yeah,
the current business models, and we're always looking at the future business models, and they still boggle our mind how many possibilities there are still available.
yeah,
But it
and
but
Elon
it
already announced that he will walk the sort of factory line of the Samsung factory. So that tells you a little bit how close the collaboration is then
yeah
between those kind of companies, right?
yeah yeah. Yeah, so that's also this idea has also been manifested last week in Las Vegas with the presentation of Las Vegas. Um, it was the presentation of the new energy products Tesla unveiled. And where did they unveil that? They unveiled that in the boring tunnel in Las Vegas. And the whole presentation was made possible by a Cybertruck and by a power bank. And that makes it so vivid, you know, the whole sustainable abundance vision plan, which was like kind of vague. Um, Within this week, you already get some vision of, oh, so this is going to happen. This is how it integrates, etc. So how is energy going to integrate into this big sustainable abundance vision? Well, AI is gonna need so much energy that we need batteries in order to get energy to these AI data centers. So what they showed at their first slide at unveiling this mega block, this new product they created, is that the demand for energy only for AI is going to increase by tenfold. So there's a huge demand for energy, and the batteries will be deployed in that demand market. So it also shows you there is a big demand coming from AI, which Tesla is currently building also, and other companies as well, with all those GPU factories being built. But the Tesla also has the solution for actually the biggest problem there is: how are we going to get the energy for all these AI factories?
Yeah, so they can deploy like 1 gigawatt like in 20 days or so, something like that.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, and without any cabling needed. So that's the smart function, and without any other transformers needed, etc. So Tesla's going to build their own transformers as well. Well, that's something Elon already mentioned, I think, a few years ago, that transformers will be the bottleneck within the energy infrastructure market. So yeah, it was again intertwined solutions of all the different companies together.
Yeah, what I also feel is like that Elon over the last 5 years has been really perfecting his operating system, as I call it. Like the way he runs companies, but also the way they sort of streamline each and every division.
Hmm.
And they talked about deleting the process, then at the very least stage, then automating that part. That vision of the best part is no part, but
Yeah.
all those teams are being enabled by that sort of operating system that Elon has been drilled into those core teams from the very beginning. And everybody always sees the world as sort of static, right? So we have this mega pack product, and this will be the product for the next coming years. But what we all sort of tend to look over is the iterations and how fast Tesla is always iterating their products, making it more better. They're very much on the ball when it comes to contact with consumers, like what is actually the demand of the market. It needs to be more plug and play. And now we have this, like, the mega pack was already big, right? But the mega block is, I think, even bigger. And it's so nice to see that Tesla has so many internal ways that they measure success. So, for example, they have been optimizing those mega packs for the amount of output that can be delivered on any given site. So a lot of that work is happening on site. So the battery density on any given destination is becoming higher and higher, right? It's like the same like your supercharger. In the beginning, it gives you half the power, and now sometimes I already have like 1700, 1800 megawatts being poured into my Tesla. So it's the same destination, almost like more or less the same products, but it's already the iteration number 50 or 60 or whatever hundred that Tesla then has been pushing. And same
Yeah.
counts for energy. And energy was already very profitable. But if you then look that installation costs are coming way down, and it's basically now one consumer product that everybody can operate, that just comes straight out of the box and just works.
Yeah, it's something that we also discussed last week. That Elon has this system that you have version 1, version 2, version 3 of the product. Version 3 of the product is the final product, and is the best product. And this is also shown with the energy, the mega pack. This could be version 3 of the mega pack. It's called mega block now. There's a lot of iterations been happening, which bring the cost down. But the most important part is that the factory is ready for
Yeah.
actually building those, and the supply chain is ready, etc. So they showed that from 2020 to 2025, they showed an exponential curve of actually deploying 36 gigawatt hours of batteries in 5 years. Their combined factories right now, they have a combined output capacity of around 120 gigawatt hours. That's amazing. I mean, that's going to be like 5 times of which of the amount that they have deployed the last 5 years. So the exponential curve will actually get steeper and steeper again. And to give you an idea of how much that is, like the total mega pack production of the 3 Tesla factories will be equivalent of 1.7 million Tesla cars.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Can you
those
repeat
factories
that?
are,
What the
the equivalent is 1.7 million Tesla cars
the equivalent of what? The
of the
output of what?
of the capacity of the current
Yeah.
3 battery factories,
And the three are
creating
right
this.
now. It's Houston. No, it's Houston is announced, right?
Houston is announced, and we have Shanghai, and we have I think Austin is the other one, no?
Lathrop, right? So
Lathrop, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I think Lathrop is 40 gigawatt, Shanghai also, and then we have
yeah.
Houston also being 40, or Houston being 50. That's it. So it's
Yeah.
130.
And I even think those numbers are sort of conservative. If we look at the output of Lathrop already being very high, and
Yeah.
Shanghai wants to be a tripling of that. But then what we see right now is the output, right? The output are the products. But
Hmm.
the biggest inventions with Tesla are always made with manufacturing and breakthroughs that they have there, right? So it's efficiency upon efficiency. So the product becomes more efficient, but more important, the manufacturing capabilities are becoming more efficient as well. But not only the manufacturing, but then also shipment, installment, and all that. Those are all
Yeah,
following.
they're all flywheels connecting to each other and getting a better product. And
Yeah,
also with the energy product, it's a hardware product combined with an AI product. So the whole automator system is actually giving the value to all these mega packs. So it's not the batteries themselves, but the software actually getting the energy from the battery into the place where the energy is needed. That's the real value of
yeah,
those mega packs.
yeah. When I
And
see those mega blocks, I just want to buy a plot of land and just
yeah,
put a couple of them in them.
let's
I
start. Let's start with a Powerwall. We can finally buy a Powerwall in the Netherlands.
oh man, amazing! It's finally there. Or?
Yeah. So right now you can order a Powerwall. That's something I'm going to do actually.
Okay, okay.
So
How much will they cost?
I don't know yet. What I did learn is that Tesla sold their 1 millionth Powerwall as of this week as well. So another milestone.
Mm, wow. Yeah, and then you see the Tesla semi truck shipping those batteries from Nevada to the rest of the world, right? So this is also awesome side that so
Yeah.
many factories that are it's sort of the Tesla semi truck rolls out of the factory and then immediately gets loads of thousands of batteries that it needs to transport. That sort of thing is in a nutshell what Tesla represents as a company to me. The demand
Yeah.
for batteries is so high that they just need an endless supply of trucks that can drive them to their consumers or end destinations.
Yeah. Being driven by robo trucking AI.
Yeah, at a certain point there will be these kind of internal metrics becoming so obnoxious, crazy that Tesla just cannot sell certain parts to consumers anymore. If it's the semi truck or batteries, like for example, if the Boring Company, another $1 trillion opportunity within Elon's ecosystem, they of course also need a ton and ton of battery packs and mega packs
Yeah.
along their way to power all their capabilities. So yeah, the more and the faster Boring Company will grow, the faster the demand will be for mega packs, the faster the demand will be for cabs that needs to drive through those tunnels. So yeah, those kind of things can easily lead to outside initiatives of Elon, eventually leading to growth for Tesla. And just how amazing is it that it's already like a amazing thing that somebody can build $1 billion company in his life, let alone two, let alone building a couple of $1 trillion companies. That's still like beyond. I think still we don't understand Elon well enough uh, to understand that blueprint of that he's operating upon.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, we're in the middle of actually seeing this happen, and that's also what happened last week. We had a vague master plan for part four, and now we have some concrete milestones already being hit. So
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
what I saw on those milestones is actually Tesla Energy, while a couple of days later coming up with very aggressive announcement, isn't even mentioned in this compensation plan. While Tesla Energy is already becoming a very important driver for the profitability in the short term of Tesla.
Hmm.
So that tells you that Tesla energy is really there, like literally to power the mission, and it has a very utilitarian role within Tesla. But I think Tesla energy alone can easily be valued for a trillion in, let's say, in 10 years from now,
Hmm.
because the opportunities also for Tesla energy are endless, right? So they can have expansions within the whole home ecosystem. They can have expansions. They can have expansions building their own solar farms and whatnot. So that alone on itself is a big flywheel that will more and more power Tesla's vision. And at a certain point, also the demand for AI chips that Tesla right now is also manufacturing, right, with Samsung, will be so high because can you remember that let's say half year ago that Elon announced the amount of AI chips that they will need for Tesla and XAI, and that
Hmm.
that was currently just at 2% or something like that. So the amount of chips that are being needed for the future. Elon talked about it, that chips would not be the bottlenecks anymore a couple of years from now, with Samsung coming online, Nvidia expanding their capacity or whatnot. Then we can also get to a point there that the demand is so high that Tesla will just generate megapacks for themselves.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's crazy because the whole sustainable abundance is built upon batteries.
Yeah.
It's built upon cheap solar and cheap batteries. So indeed, it's as you say, it's the base of everything.
Yeah, and this is already in place, right? But as we know, and as Elon talked about, Elon is 10 years ahead. People always tend to forget how far ahead Elon is in the first seeds that he's planting already, right? So he's now planting seeds that will come into fruition 10 years from now. And with this whole shareholder pack, this is also like a long-term vision that's get presented for Tesla. But Tesla's mission and Elon's mission is not only for Earth, but also for expanding to Mars, and in the end becoming a multiplanetary civilization. So that comes to the vision of actually becoming a Type One civilization.
Yep.
Those seeds are being planted right now, and batteries are just one stepping stone towards becoming a Type One civilization.
Yeah. So to expand on what you're saying, that Elon is always ahead of the game. Um, he he fired his whole supercharging team. I think 1 year ago, maybe 2 years ago, 1.5 year ago, and everybody was looking at him. Okay, what's going to be the strategy of the superchargers
Yeah.
within Tesla? And now they also last week they announced the Tesla superchargers for business. So they are finally going to sell their whole ecosystem of superchargers. So every entrepreneur can now actually apply. If you have a storefront or you have a parking garage or you have an Airbnb or whatever, uh, any place where people need or are in need for a charging solution, you can buy superchargers from Tesla and you can start making money with that.
Yeah, and simultaneously, Tesla launched the app. I think Netherlands is the first country there where you can
Yep.
also use your app to other charging systems.
Yes.
So those things are also very much intertwined with software. That is going to become more obvious as well. That Tesla is not only leading in hardware, but also their software is top notch.
Yep.
From FSD to auto bidder to those kind of applications that will just make your
Yeah,
life
that's
easier.
that's super smart again. I mean, they allowed other car makers to get to their superchargers, and now they are connecting every charge
Yeah.
card holder into their system.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
let's say you're Ford and you already
yeah,
have those same chargers, right? It's an obvious thing that Ford, for their, just for their presence, will want to have like maybe 50,000 chargers that look blue instead of red or so. And Tesla doesn't give a fuck because they don't. They just want to make it happen.
yeah,
And they just open it up for the Tesla drivers as well. But you can imagine that with the competition being like 5 to 10 years behind, that boards are now talking about, well, we have this superchargers that we can buy. This is a big opportunity for us, and it is, to be honest, it's a big opportunity for companies like Ford and the other OEMs, etc., to have that. And battery technology is catching up already there as well, so you can have a great Ford, although they're still not profitable. But now also those kind of companies can funnel their expenses into just a hand of things that they will do, because Tesla is taking care of the infrastructure, and they can sort of deploy superchargers with a predictable return, let's say 10 to 15%, which is nice for those kind of companies. But then they can focus on a couple of models that they just can have, and also then burn a lot less OPEX. Just so by doing this, Tesla is actually helping the competition and helping to accelerate the world to sustainable energy.
exactly. And this whole supercharging business model is been evolving, and now they're going into the next level that they're actually going to sell it. And this is like a precursor to all their other products.
Yeah.
So the discussion whether the Cybercap will be sold, yes or no, I think the supercharger business shows that they will sell the Cybercap
Yeah.
together with the whole ecosystem, and there will be entrepreneurs and competitors all being intertwined into that system.
Yeah, or capital. Capital, I think, is a very important argument as well, because they say you pay for them. You are the owner. We do the operation. So it's it's just they don't want the cash. They want to just very lean, making sure all the products that are manufactured are being sold, making a nice profit of them, having a small cut on the auto bidder and all that other stuff, and you can own it, and we still operate it for you.
No, but
And then you don't need capital anymore.
it shows how Tesla works. They and what that they're mission driven. They want to get to that mission as fast as possible. They are very practical, but they also do it with an ecosystem which is the lowest cost, and they can earn some dollars on it to actually get some R&D in there to get the cost even lower.
Yeah,
So they are leveraging the market in order to get the superchargers, more superchargers on the road, in order to get more EVs sold, etc., in order to win the battle against the ICE vehicles, and actually getting all the competition into this flow.
yeah,
And the supercharger is the first product which is already showing how this works, how this idea of Tesla conquering the market works. And this will extrapolate to other products within Tesla as well. So first we will see the Cybercap, then also the Semi, the Robovan,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Optimus, etc. So that's fascinating to see, is that they finally are opening this also as a product to yeah,
Yeah,
to
with the
buy.
caveat that they can play both hands. So if they want to open their locations for themselves, they do it.
Yep.
But if you want to open a location, you open a fast food chain or whatever, you're free to do it. And I
Yep.
think it's a very interesting opportunity for companies like big supermarket chains and all those home improvement stores. And that can also become a flywheel in itself, right? So you have a whole business to business solution with the mega pack, with the charging stations, that are, let's say you're operating a warehouse with some parking space there. And you say, well, you just invest in superchargers, a mega pack. Now you don't have to pay for your energy anymore, and you're become profitable with charging. That's it's a no brainer then for a lot of companies to step in those kind of investments. And
Yeah,
it's
I
the same
mean,
like they talked about the semi. Like the offer will be so compelling for the CFO of a company that needs to order trucks anyhow, that you say, well, this is a no-brainer. Let's go for the Teslas.
100%. I mean, we at Mr. Green, we have been exploiting supercharger locations for 10 years. And we deployed other superchargers than the Tesla superchargers, but we already knew this is not going to be able to compete against Tesla. So we already called Tesla. We're already buying cars from you guys. Can we also buy the superchargers? Because it's going to be like a network effect also for us to sell more cars, to bring them to our locations, etc. We can add all kind of services. And they said, yeah, we are thinking about it. It will come. So I think a year ago, I did a podcast with Tesla Fix, where the first signs were coming out that British Petroleum was actually working together with Tesla to buy the superchargers, and now they finally brought it to the market. So yeah, I'm very happy that this also started as of last week. Another milestone,
Yeah.
another stepping stone in the whole ecosystem of Tesla, really
Yeah, and
being met,
also something that
becoming
is
real.
now totally off the plate of Tesla, and they can just focus on manufacturing and the capabilities over there, and strengthening those kind of competences.
Yep.
Because in the end, every process that you run, again, the best part is no part, the best process is no process. This also accounts for these kind of processes that maybe more or less those kind of processes are netting a little bit positive or netting a little bit negative. And all those processes within Tesla that are actually costing money are now being outsourced to people that can have that streamlined and efficient. And yeah, if it's just a matter of like installing or shipping those products, having a clear installment guide, and local workers can install it. Now all of a sudden you don't have to. Now all of a sudden you don't have to have those people on your payroll anymore, and you can leave that opportunity to companies that are specializing in that, or maybe it's not even needed, because also the mega block looks so simple that the installment of those kind of products are becoming more and more simple, thus more available for the market.
Yeah, and you can imagine that also the Tesla diner will be franchised at a certain point,
Yeah,
together with
yeah,
together
exactly.
with the mega block and the supercharger, and maybe
Yeah,
even with a solar product.
yeah. I heard like in the first week or first month or so, it did a revenue of 2.5 million.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you have a restaurant that can
Two
make
and a half million in a
yeah,
month.
in a month,
Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
on very busy locations.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is on itself already extraordinary thing.
What does a McDonald's franchise do in a month?
Oh, that's a good question, but it will be interesting to see what it does in a year, right? Or we talked about Shell being
Mhm.
one of the biggest coffee sellers in the world. I think it's number two
Yep.
or number three, just because they have so many locations on the road that are selling coffee. So the same can happen then, of course, with Tesla. And Tesla has the potential of having more locations than even Shell can have in their prime, right?
So it's 2.5 million a month, huh? So what will be the split in revenue? How many popcorn have they sold from with Optipop?
Yeah,
That's how it's called. Optimus surfing the popcorn.
yeah. I was showing this video to
What
my
what's the gross margin on that popcorn?
yeah, a lot. It's just mice, right? So
Yeah, yeah, and
mice.
then there is no guy operating anymore. It's just Optimus doing it.
I showed that video to my girlfriend and said, "Look at this video," and she said, "Oh, nice popcorn." I said, "No, it's Optimus operating this thing. That's the point of the video."
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So
Oh,
one
well,
one
exciting
one.
times ahead, and we talked about we talked about that it would be great to see sort of in between steps and milestones being presented. So I was very happy with this week with not only the master plan and milestones, but also Megapack announcing just product announcements. It was not even being streamed from the main account of Tesla. It was, I think, Tesla Megapack or Tesla Energy, one of the sub accounts. And this is also very positive from my point of view, that those subdivisions are now feeling free to organize these kind of events as well and put their work into daylight.
So cool, yeah. They even made their own merch, their
Yeah,
own logo, their own vision within colors, etc. I loved it. It's
yeah. It feels
yeah,
very decentralized. It feels very
exactly, yeah,
decentralized. Yeah. So
yeah,
just empowering the teams to do their best work, to innovate, to run on Elon's operating system,
yeah,
and just let it run.
yeah. Empowering everybody, becoming the media, and showing it through his own companies, showing
Yeah.
that you can create your own marketing strategy through X. Amazing, yeah. There's even one milestone we haven't talked about yet. Can you remember which one?
Um, no, but probably you do.
You will as well, but you already forgot. It's
Yeah.
only
Okay.
4 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know which one?
Yeah. We have 20 million cars. We have 1 million Optimus bot, which is not so much. We have 1 million Robo Cybercaps in operation from top of my head. So then we have um, 20 million cars. I already said that one, right?
Yeah, it's smaller.
FSD.
It's the launch of the Robo-taxi app on the App Store.
Okay, really? That one? Okay, yeah, I forgot that one. Yeah, that's done
So
now.
it's done, and it had the most amount of downloads ever in the mobility sector,
Yeah, yeah.
more than Uber and Waymo.
Yeah, well, that ties into what we talked about, like Elon having a core team, 125,000 employees, and then let's say up to 10 million retail shareholders that are in the company. They're following this company so close because all those people can make a 10x return now while those milestones are clear. So, of
Yep.
course, everybody will then download the app and start testing the app, and this is already like a huge catalyst on itself, where Elon has been
Yep.
very active and,
Sure.
and investing in it well. So let's say the product adoption curve, which is normally very difficult to if
Yeah,
I'm
to
looking at Dex
to cross
from
that chasm,
yeah.
and
So I've
he can
received
cross every chasm already with everything he already has.
Yeah, so you have X users that can then
Yep.
download it. So we already have the users, and now we can just push the products through. And
Yep.
normally, I'm an investor as well, so I get these pitch
Yep.
decks of SaaS companies, and they need to spend tons and tons of money to get the first users in, to get test users, to test to validate their assumptions and all that.
Yep.
And Tesla has already this ecosystem of 10 million sort of employees and retail investors. Then we have X with over 500 million people. So the product adoption curve will be so steep all the time,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
is a competitive advantage on itself, right?
Yeah. That's also our competitive advantage of this podcast, isn't it? We are already building a community,
Yeah.
uh, and hopefully we're entertaining them, and we can bring some value as well to this podcast
Yeah.
sometime down the road.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed talking again and sharing our insights based on the recent events. And
Yeah,
talk to you next week.
great. Thank you, Damien.